All right, I'm going to ask you a question. Given your so-called medical expertise, how many people do you think we're going to see dead by the end of the year or by the summer? Do you think we're going to have more than 20,000 people dead?
By the
30,000?
end of the 20,000, yes, I do think there will be more
Okay.
than
Yeah. So
20,000.
that's flu territory.
Well, I don't know if it's flu territory. It could
Flu
more than
territory.
20,000.
20,000, around 20,000.
Wait, I didn't say. Wait, Darth. I didn't say that it was going to be around 20,000.
Okay,
I said it was. You asked me if it was going to be greater.
Do you think we're going to have 30,000 or 40,000 people dead from the coronavirus in the United States?
I think you'll have more than that. Yes.
Okay, what's your number? Because I'm going to remember this.
Okay. As of now, I think sure. So as of now, by August? By August, I think we'll have approximately. I think it'll be approximately 60,000 by August. So you can put that number down and time frame.
60,000 in the United States by August.
60,000.
Okay, I'm going to remember this.
Yep, USA, 60,000 by August.
Yes.
And then it always gets harder to.
60,000.
Yep.
So right now I'm looking. I Googled. It says right now we have 18,000 dead. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you think that the number of deaths is going to triple in the United States? We've already seen the number
by August.
In the and on what grounds?
Yeah. So so that's just
Are you
in New York? I'm in New York. Yeah.
Okay. You've been following the news where the deaths have already peaked? They're starting to go down.
No, I understand.
Okay.
They've only hold on. I'll just say a few things about that. So yes, I do expect the peak to happen, if not already happened.
Okay.
We are in our first day of a lower amount of deaths than the previous day. We're at 777 deaths. Yesterday it was 799 deaths.
But right now, there's 18,763 deaths in the United States. So you believe that there's going to be 42,000 more deaths in the United States by August. So we're already in the middle of April.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got June, July. Are you saying
wait, Darth, just real quick, I'll answer your question.
At the beginning or end of August?
At the beginning, by August, I believe it's early August.
Okay, so we got May, June, July. Okay, so in 3 months, you think we're going to have 40,000 more deaths?
Yeah, approximately.
Okay, so you think that there's going to be people are going to be even more contagious given the warm weather? Okay.
No, I think it'll be in spite of that. And the reason I think that is because the way the curves work, the curves are not symmetrical. The rise and fall of pandemics, they're not as symmetrical. If you were to graph,
were the government prognoses about the deaths? Is it wrong? Were they wrong?
I think they were. I mean, there were IHME models
were all wrong.
Sure.
They were
well, you're asking me for my prediction. You're not asking. I mean,
well, I know that, but all right. So so you're telling me your prediction, because you're a doctor, okay, and obviously that's not anything to be disparaged, but at the same time, we have a cadre of doctors working for the CDC, and they've made numerous prognoses that they're flat wrong about, especially when they initially said, "Oh, it's going to be," and Fauci. You know who Fauci is, right?
I know who Fauci is.
Yeah, he's the head honcho over there, right? And he said, "Oh, this is not going to be anything." Then it spiked. Then he says, "Oh, we're going to have millions dead." Then he says, and remember, this is his precise field. This is not your field. Your field is dermatology. His field is infectious diseases. Okay, and he's the head. I forget what the title of the subdivision of the CDC that he's in, but he's the head guy. He's on there every day with Trump. He was initially saying we were going to have millions dead.
Can I get a prediction from you? Do you have a prediction?
No, I don't think that we'll see. I don't think that we'll
You can
see
ballpark
more
it.
than.
Like, where do you think the deaths are going to
I
be?
don't think we'll see more than 30,000. I think it'll
Okay,
be.
so let's say, okay, so let's put, so you say no more than 30,000 by August.
Yeah.
I say around 60,000 by August. Definitely more than 30,000.
I don't believe that
And
at all.
okay, so let's just lock that in.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you, by the way, and so I've provided you.
If Fauci does this for a living, he's the #1 doctor at the CDC in the department that deals with infectious diseases. If this is his area of expertise and he's the head of this in the United States and he's making prognosis about the severity of it, saying, oh, it's not going to be anything that serious. And then it turns out to be serious. And then he states we're going to see millions of dead. And then he says, oh, no, we're just going to see hundreds, thousands of dead. If this is a guy who does it for a living, he has all of the government stats and he's wrong time and time again. Why should I trust your evaluation when this isn't even your field?
Because by August I'm going to be right and you're going to be wrong, Darth.
That's entirely. I think we're done. I said we'll see maybe 25,000, 30,000 at the outermost. I don't even think that we'll see that. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll be glad to admit it. But you're saying right now, because I want to remember this, you're saying we're going to have 60,000 people dead in the United States come August 1st.
Come August 4th. But okay.
August 4th.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'll remember that.
Yeah. Okay, so then that's okay, sure. Okay, and then we'll revisit this conversation at that time.
Sure. And those are easy stats for us to remember.
Yes.
If you're right, I will take my crow broiled with some cheddar cheese. I guess we're done with that. So we've got our prognostications and we'll see. Okay. So I'm saying anywhere 25, 30,000 at the outermost. Okay. I don't even think we'll see that. And you say 60,000 by August 1st. Okay.
Yeah. August 4th.
So we got May, June, July. Okay. So 3 months to get 42,000 more deaths.
That's right.
Okay, just remember, you said 60,000 deaths by August 4th.
Yes, correct.
I'm going to remember that.
Sure. I hope you do. I hope we have a chance to, in fact, I think I'm friends with you already. Let me send you a friend request. Yeah, I mean, look, and just to be clear, I'll be happy to be wrong. Like, if I'm wrong, I'll be happy to. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. 60,000, just for the people in chat, 60,000 is by August 4th. 60,000 or more. COVID deaths. And you're saying 30,000 or less, not more than 30,000 is what you said.
I don't think we'll even see that.
Okay.
I personally, in my pompous opinion, I think we've seen the spike.
Yeah, I mean, I can give you my reasoning for why I think that we still would. So even if it's true that we see the spike, it's not a symmetrical up spike and down spike. So you're not going to see, if you graph the rate of death over time, what you don't see in pandemics, you don't see an up spike, you don't see it go up and then go down as quickly as it go up. So it's not going to be time symmetric. So you can't just go, if we already hit the spike, you're not going to just go 18,000 multiplied by 2 and that gives you your total deaths.
But you know what's funny about this whole discussion?
What's funny?
Is that you believe in,
are we going pre-sub?
No, you believe that there's continuity that you can appeal to as an agnostic.
I knew we were going pre-sub. Okay, so we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Sure, we can talk about that. Right now, let's stick to COVID. Anyway, the issue is it's not a symmetrical up spike and down spike. So it's what you're not going to be able to do is, Darth, you're not going to be able to take 18,747 and multiply it by 2 to get 37,000. Even if you were to do that, you would get more than what you said, which is 30,000, by the way. But you can't do, even that wouldn't work because the tail curve. The tail is a long end curve.
Here's my attitude as a non-medical professional, but somebody who has a brain. We've had repeated gross exaggerations, right, by the news media. We've had, doomsday scenarios. We've had the government, the CDC, at the outset saying this is going to be trivial. Then they say millions of deaths. So you know what? I don't trust them. Okay, their prognostications have been wrong time and time and time and time again.
Why do you think you came to 30,000? I just want to know, like, what brought you to say no more than 30,000? Did you have any analysis?
I personally, no. I look. I think it's very clear that I'm not sitting poring over medical data left and right like Fauci is at the CDC. I'm just going based upon the articles that I read, what I listen to on the news. It's my opinion as a layman that what we've seen is the spike. Okay, and then the death rate is going to decline here on out through the rest of the spring and the summer.
And you think based on that, it follows that we'll see no more than 30,000 total deaths in the United States?
I don't think we'll see more than 30,000.
Okay, and you don't have an analysis or any source for that, as you just said.
Have I made a claim?
No, you haven't. I was just wondering.
Yeah.
No, I was just asking if you had any source.
Biased opinion as a layman.
Okay, cool. So, if no more than 30,000, you are correct by August 4th. If more than 30,000 but less than 60,000, neither of us are correct. If 60,000 or greater, then if 60,000 or greater,
I'm looking here at a chart on the Google page. New York, 13,000.
Wait, but Darth, real quick.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, sure.
New York, okay, 13,000. Okay, then we have New Jersey, 92, Michigan, 5, Massachusetts, 4,000, California.
Wait, what are you looking at, Darth? What chart?
I'm looking at the wrong thing. I should be looking at deaths. I look at the wrong column. Okay, New York.
I can give you deaths. New York, 7,844. New Jersey, 1,900.
1,700. Michigan, Massachusetts. Okay, look. So the overwhelming majority of deaths is the epicenter is New York State and probably New York City. Now, those number of deaths are not spread out through the entire state. Its epicenter is New York City.
Specifically,
would you agree with that?
The parts of New York City around Manhattan, not in Manhattan, but sure, yeah.
Right. So we're seeing. So if we take a look at 18,000 deaths, so out of the 18,000, 7,000 has been in the epicenter of New York. That's a huge chunk.
Yeah, but that wouldn't. Yeah, sure. But even if you assume a down spike and an up spike for every one of these states and just summate them, you would still get more than 30,000.
Do you see that we're going to have the New York?
Sure.
The greatest plurality of deaths.
But Darth, I just still don't understand why you're coming to 30,000, even if all of that is true. Like, if I were to,
I said because I believe that because the majority of deaths, okay, the greatest plurality is in New York City, and I believe that's due to the geographical conditions and the ethnic population of Chinese that are centered there. Okay, and now we've seen a pretty much a tapering off of the deaths in New York City. They're starting to taper off and they're starting to decline. Okay, so the vast majority, the greatest plurality is New York State, not anywhere else. That's why.
It's a plurality, not a. Wait, just to be clear, it's a plurality. It's not a majority.
That's why I said plurality.
Yeah. So even if that's true, though, so let's take that to be true.
Okay, why are we having the plurality of deaths in New York? Why is that?
We can have that conversation. I just want to know before we have that conversation.
They're all leftist Democrats? I don't think so.
Before we have that conversation, it's because they're all atheists, Darth. That's what it is. God's punishing them.
There you go.
Yeah. So just real quick. So even if that's all true, we can say that we can grant that all. We could, and let's just say, and furthermore, we could grant that every single state, which by the way hasn't peaked yet. Let's just say every state has peaked right now, and New York peaked yesterday. Let's just say that. Even if that's true, the only way you get to 30,000 is if you think the decrease in the rate of deaths are going to be a steeper decrease than the increase in rate of deaths, which
I think that because I think what's going to happen is there's going to be widespread use of the hydroxychloroquine.
okay, so that would account for it. But you realize that in every other, if it pans out, if hydroxychloroquine pans out as a very good drug and it pans out to decrease the deaths with widespread use, then you can see a sharper rate of decrease.
Mhm.
I just want to point out one thing that I don't believe we've ever seen any widespread pandemic that has had that kind of curve to date. Virtually every pandemic that we've seen has had a characteristic where the upslope is steeper than the downslope. That's the only thing. It would be very novel for it to be the other way around. All right, cool. And then we'll see on August 4th or earlier, depending on what the numbers are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the times I will contact you. Well,
No,
do
I'll
you
be
want to
around.
talk about
You don't have to contact me. I'll be around. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, cool. Okay, so what we'll see. Okay, so I just still want to make sure that I understand you're not going anywhere. I'm not accusing you of going anywhere, but I'll make sure that we're friends. Just because the times I'll contact you, it would either be on August 4th for this, or if it passes 30,000, at which point you would be incorrect, and I would be either possibly correct or possibly incorrect. And if it passes 60,000,
and if I'm wrong and it hits 35, 40,000 or higher, I'll eat my crow broiled with cheese.
well, don't do that. That's not vegan.
Well, I'm not a vegan, so
I still have to. I understand you're not a vegan, but still, that's better.